Imagine the roar of Arthur Ashe Stadium fading into whispers, Carlos Alcaraz clutching his fifth Grand Slam trophy under the September lights, sweat-streaked and triumphant, only for a single Instagram story to shatter the silence, a cryptic heart emoji from a bikini-clad bombshell in the stands, her silhouette mirroring his victory pose, igniting a firestorm that no ace could extinguish. Is the King of Clay secretly entangled with a Sports Illustrated siren, or was it all a mirage masking deeper desires? Hit that subscribe button and drop a like if this bombshell has you hooked. Your next tennis fix is just a click away. In the electric haze of the 2025 US Open aftermath, where baselines blur into heartlines, Carlos Alcaraz's world tilted on its axis not from a rival's forehand, but from a sister's sly confession that echoed like a dropped mic. Grace and Nader, the reality TV firecracker with a knack for spilling tea hotter than a summer hardcourt, cornered by E! News at New York Fashion Week, flashed a grin sharp as a volley and declared her sibling Brooks, the 28-year-old Sports Illustrated stunner whose curves have graced pages from Malibu shores to Manhattan runways, utterly smitten with the Spanish phenom. The rumors are true, she teased, her voice a velvet dagger, dating such a loose term, but he's the man of the hour. Picture it, Brooks, fresh off her Dancing with the Stars whirl and a messy divorce that left tabloids thirsty, slipping into Carlos's orbit like a perfectly timed lob. Their paths crossed in the VIP haze of Flushing Meadows, her front row cheers syncing with his roars as he dismantled Jan-Nick Sinner in that epic final, 6-4, 7-5, 6-3. But rewind the reel, Instagram clues piled up like unforced errors, her story from day 8, time-stamped at his semi-final slaughter of Arthur Rinderknecht, a champagne flute raised with a winking emoji that screamed more than mere fandom. Carlos, the 22-year-old eternal boy wonder who'd once lamented to the Times how his globe-trotting grind left no room for romance, I'm single, chasing the right spark amid the chaos, suddenly seemed less lone wolf and more entangled vine. Grace and doubled down, gushing that Carlos had already charmed her other sisters, Mary Holland and Sarah Jane, into his orbit, dubbing him such a cutie, while admitting her own envy to meet the maestro. Yet, as whispers swelled into headlines, a shadow loomed, page 6 explosive claim that Brooks juggled not one, but two titans, courtside for Sinner's quarters, then Alcaraz's crescendo, turning the Open into a real-life challenger script, where love served aces and deuces alike. The tension coiled tighter when Brooks herself, on Jimmy Kimmel's couch, dodged probes with a coy, "You're warm, but not that match," her laugh a smoke screen over the storm. Fans devoured it, search spikes hitting 2,250% on Google Trends, threads exploding on Reddit with dissected DMs and phantom sightings. This wasn't just gossip, it was a narrative reborn, Carlos's invincible facade cracking to reveal a heart-racing off-court, vulnerable as a second serve. But hold that breath, because buried in the glamour lay a ghost from summers past, a British rose whose doubles dance with Carlos had fans scripting sequels no reality could match, threatening to wilt this fresh bloom before it fully unfurled. Welcome to Tennis Insider, where we serve up the unfiltered truths from the baseline. Stay locked in for more courtside confessions. As the confetti settled and Carlos jetted back to Murcia's sun-baked embrace, nursing that US Open glow with family feasts and quiet reflections on the road's toll, the longer you're away, the more you crave home, he'd sigh in post-match haze. The Brooks saga simmered into something seismic, a plot twist that yanked the rug from under a fandom's fever dream. Enter the specter of Emma Raducanu, the 2021 phenom whose US Open fairy tale mirrored Carlos's own breakout blaze, their paths intertwining like a perfect net cord years before the shipping wars erupted. Flashback to that electric June promo clip for the revamped mixed doubles draw, where US Open brass paired the duo for a streamlined spectacle, 2 days of high-stakes hijinks before the singles storm. There they sat, chairs wedged apart by an armrest moat, Carlos's grin boyish, Emma's poise unflappable, bantering volleys in a sponsor's skit that lit socials ablaze. That was fun, he'd caption later, arms slung casual around her shoulder in a victory selfie, her 3-word reply, pure magic, partner, fueling a speculation supernova. Fans, those relentless architects of alternate universes, flooded AO3 and Wattpad with feverish fanfics. One viral tale, game set match, spun a globe-trotting romance where Carlos's clay court conquests clashed with Emma's grass court grace, their first kiss unfolding under Wimbledon's ivy in a rain-delayed reverie that racked 50k reads overnight. Another, buried in Reddit's r/tennis ships, painted them as teen prodigies stealing moments in locker room shadows during 2021's Flushing Fever, her A-level stress melting under his Murcia mischief, complete with cameos from Nadal as the wise uncle. Shipping surged, queries for Alcaraz spiking to 250%, with TikToks dissecting every Wimbledon glance, her balcony perch at his queen's semi-tell that had forums frenzying over hidden hands and stolen smiles. Yet, the hammer fell swift and surgical. Emma, cornered at Wimbledon pressers, laughed off the frenzy with a crisp, "We're just good friends," her tone a baseline backhand swatting speculation into the stands. Carlos echoed the vibe in a GB News spot, vowing, "I'll do whatever she wants, she's the boss," his deference a platonic pledge that only amplified the ache for more. Their practice pops at SW19, volleys traded like old confidences forged in 2021's shared spotlight, her shock title, his Tsitsipas takedown, wove a bond of mutual assent, not assent to romance. But oh, the surprise that sliced through, as Brooks's sister spilled the tea, painting Carlos as the cutie and snaring the Nader clan, Emma's silhouette faded from the frame, her genuine connection, quote to The Guardian, a deep friendship from those breakout days, now a eulogy for the what-ifs. The fandom reeled, fanfics fracturing into alternate endings where Emma's just friends facade hid a flicker of regret, her post-doubles IG story, a solitary sunset serve, whispering volumes unspoken. This revelation wasn't mere closure, it was a seismic shift, yanking Carlos from fan-forged fairy tales into a tabloid tangle that pulsed with peril, where every like and linger held the power to upend empires built on baseline bonds. And just when the dust seemed to settle on Emma's exit stage left, a fresh ripple threatened to tsunami the shore, Brooks's own Watch What Happens live bombshell, brushing off the dual dating din with a defiant, "Guys do it all the time, so why can't I?" A line that hung like an unreturned serve, daring the world to volley back with verdicts on vows and victories alike. Now, let's peel back the curtain on the gladiators themselves, where baseline battles bleed into bedroom brinkmanship, and one model's maneuverings rewrite the rivalry's rulebook in ways no draw sheet could predict. Brooks Nader emerges as the enigma wrapped in enigma, her Sports Illustrated sheen, those Malibu shoots where waves crashed like applause, belying a post-divorce phoenix rise that's equal parts calculated and chaotic. At 28, post her April split from DWTS pro Gleb Savchenko amid whispers of irreconcilable rhythms, she dove into the dating deep end with the ferocity of a tiebreak warrior, her Jimmy Kimmel coyness, "You're warm," a masterclass in deflection that had viewers pausing frames for clues. Grace and Scoop greeted her as the prize Carlos couldn't resist, yet insiders to Daily Mail hissed of an agenda, Brooks, hungry for Love Thy Nader spotlight, allegedly fanning flames with sinner sightings to spike her star, single and ready to mingle, sans strings, her fun first ethos a far cry from Carlos's confessed craving for roots amid the rally. The Spaniard, ever the family anchor, still bunking with mom and dad in Murcia, his January Times tell-all bearing the soul of a nomad yearning for the right person beyond the tour's blur, found in Brooks a whirlwind contrast, her NYC pulse clashing with his coastal calm. Their US Open overlap? Electric happenstance or scripted spark, her final night perch beside Stephen Colbert, flute fizzing as his trophy gleamed, screamed more than spectator thrill. Yet, the moment of jolt that jolted jaws, page 6 Thursday Thunder, alleging Brooks balanced both finalists like a doubles demo, Sinner's quarters roar pulling her one night, Alcaraz's semi-symphony the next, turning Flushing into a flotation minefield. Carlos's camp countered swift, journalist Alberto Guzman channeling inner circle intel on Spanish telly. Meanwhile, Emma's orbit offered a poignant counterpoint, her Telegraph insistence, "Just good friends, nothing more," a shield against the shipping siege that saw AO3 alight with Alcaraz arcs. One standout, Courtship Chronicles, chronicled a clandestine Wimbledon waltz where Carlos's drop shot doubled as a dinner invite, Emma's return a reluctant yes that bloomed into baseline ballads, racking 20k kudos for its "will they won't they" whirl. Fans feasted on the fiction, TikTok edits syncing their queen's clip giggles to rom-com scores, but reality's return serve stung. Emma's guardian glow on their deep friendship from 2021's parallel paths, her A-level escape to immortality, his prodigy punch, now archived as allyship, not amore. The weave of worlds tightened when Brooks, on Andy Cohen's couch, quipped, "A lady never kisses and tells, especially twice," her sister Grace and piping from the crowd, "not to her other boyfriend," a punchline that punched the air from the room. This wasn't mere matchmaking, it was a mosaic of motives, where Carlos's court conquests, French Open doubles, Wimbledon walls, mirrored off-court odysseys fraught with fleeting fires. As Grace and gushed of family meet-cuties pending, the narrative nodded. Was Brooks the disruptor dynamiting Emma's echo, or a fleeting fault that Carlos would fault away? The air crackled with unresolved rallies, each quote a quip, each citing a setup, building to a crescendo where hearts, not just balls, hung in the balance, leaving us all poised for the next point, breath bated, wondering if this serve would seal a slam or shatter the spin. That's the raw rally from Tennis Insider. Smash subscribe for more unsparing serves on the Stars' secret games, and sound off below, Team Brooks or Team Emma? Your vote breaks the tie.